Good Friday evening, everybody. David Paul here in the KHOU 11 Weather Center with our 8 o'clock tropical update. And it's busy off the East Coast. We're going to go over all the modeling on what's going on there. I know that if you're watching us from the Florida coast, the Georgia coast, Carolina coast, and inland areas, you're watching as well, because if what is now PTC number 9, if it were to go inland, it could be a significant heavy rain threat. That's if it goes inland. There's a lot of uncertainty. We'll get to all that here as we move along. As we look at the names list so far, Humberto is number 8 so far this year, named storm. It has gone Cat 3 this afternoon. So it is rapidly intensified, now Cat 3 major hurricane. So now all 3 hurricanes that we've had have all gone to be major hurricanes. And all the tropical storms we've had have all been piddly little tropical storms that fizzled out very quickly. So it has been a season of extremes as far as storm intensity goes. Let's just get to it. Here's the Atlantic Basin, the 2 special features on the map: Humberto, Cat 3 hurricane in the open Atlantic, and then what is still a mess, a tropical disturbance, is forecast. We do believe that this is going to become Tropical Storm Imelda as it moves up the east coast of Florida and up perhaps toward the Carolinas early next week. Because this looks likely to threaten the U.S. coast, they've gone ahead and labeled it a PTC, Potential Tropical Cyclone. So it's not a tropical cyclone yet, but what this does is it allows the Hurricane Center to go ahead and issue a forecast cone, and I'll share that with you as we move along. I will point this out. The showers and thunder showers here in the Gulf of Mexico are just that. They're just scattered showers. There's nothing tropical forming here. So for the moment, everybody in the Gulf is watching this from a safe distance. Now, quickly, this is Humberto, 115 mile an hour Cat 3 hurricane, and you can see during the last 12 hours, the eye has gotten better formed. It's become symmetrical, and look at it shrink in the last few frames. So this continues to intensify. I'm pretty sure by the late evening update, we're going to have perhaps a hurricane approaching Cat 4, strong Cat 3 or a weak Cat 4. Central dense overcast looking really healthy, very symmetrical. So that's a healthy hurricane, and drifting west-southwest over the last few hours. That is interesting. Pressure down to 962 millibars in Humberto. But Humberto's over the open water, and Humberto, although it becomes a Cat 4, which is interesting, it looks like it's another fish storm. This is the East Coast. There's Bermuda. You're in the cone, but perhaps it'll go around you, Bermuda, and miss you entirely. So that may be another powerful hurricane that misses making landfall. All eyes are on PTC number 9. This is the one that could impact the Carolinas and inland areas. I say could because, as we mentioned yesterday, because we have 2 tropical systems out here, you know, these are not too terribly far apart, and the forecast algorithms, the dynamical models, they're going to struggle with this a little bit. In addition, we're changing seasons. We're moving into fall. There is a front moving out of Canada at the same time that what is going to be Imelda is moving north. So there's just a tremendous amount of factors that are making the forecast for Imelda over the next several days very, very difficult. And quite frankly, if you're on the East Coast, in inland areas in the mountains of the Appalachians that could be threatened by flooding if it were to come in, the best thing and the only thing to do is watch the forecast several times a day and just adjust accordingly, be prepared for the worst, and hope for the best. We really are hoping for the best, and there still is a chance that this system stays off the coast. So let's go over all of it. Here's the forecast cone on PTC 9. I stopped it here. This is Monday at 1 in the afternoon. Storms off the coast of Florida. It's become a Cat 1 hurricane, probably a minimal Cat 1, winds of about 75 miles an hour or so at that point. You can see there's Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and then the mountains get into here. Mountains are important because if we do get all that moisture coming in, you get orographic lifting and it can magnify rainfall. It was one of the factors that led to the tremendous flooding near the Asheville area in North Carolina last summer from a landfalling tropical system. I believe it was Helene that came off the Gulf and then made a big arcing turn there and caused all the flooding. So here we are with what at this point will be Imelda Cat 1 Monday afternoon. We go into Tuesday afternoon, and when you see a forecast cone out at the end make a big bubble, what is being communicated here is there is a large degree of uncertainty. We don't know where this storm is going to be as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. The forecast cone. So what this is saying is the storm, based on this mathematical forecast, is just as likely to be on the far left-hand side of the cone. It's just as likely that it's here as it is on the far right-hand side of the cone. So everybody within that bubble has the same probability of having the storm here or here. It could be here. It could be here. It could be here. Anywhere in that cone. So there is at the moment, there's just as much of a chance that it stays off the East Coast by Tuesday as it does come inland by Tuesday. And then whether or not it comes inland or not will have gigantic impacts on whether or not we get rain or flooding rains inland, or we get nothing inland and it stays further off the coast. And at this point, we just don't know. We don't have enough information. The models are not clear enough. They're giving us very divergent outcomes with the modeling. But when you see something like this, and when we're so susceptible to flooding in here, especially getting into the mountains, you've just got to take this moment to moment and watch and stay on top of the forecast and be prepared to take action if we do end up getting, a tropical storm or a Cat 1 hurricane coming in and then dumping a whole bunch of rain up in here. So let's look at the spaghetti plots. I think this will explain more clearly the uncertainty in the forecast. So these are the individual dynamical models the Hurricane Center runs. And as we head between now and Sunday, they almost all have the same result. They take the system right here. That's why you see that due northerly track. That's by Sunday. We go to Monday night and Tuesday. And at this point, it becomes a little more clear why we have this uncertainty. Lots of the models take it into South Carolina, North Carolina, one even going into Georgia. But even then, look at these guys. They're heading east into the open Atlantic. And there are some of these solutions that are also out here in the Atlantic. We go into Wednesday. And at this point, it becomes even more clear why there is so much uncertainty. This particular model right here makes a curlicue. This one comes all the way into the mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina. That would be a flooding outcome, a potential flooding outcome. So we have several arms that come inland. We have even more arms, more models that head out to sea. So when the spaghetti plots are diverging so much like what do you do with this? And the whole thing slows down. If it takes that trip toward the Carolinas and inland, it stalls and wants to kind of turn, which is not a good outcome. A stalled tropical system can sit and dump heavy rain. And that's why you see the forecast make a bubble, right, like that. Because the uncertainty in the modeling, as you can see here, is just so large that we just don't know exactly where it's going to be. So we're going to have to take it just moment to moment, one day at a time, twice a day at a time, just watch the forecast and see how this plays out. But the biggest threat, if it were to come inland, would be Monday night, Tuesday through the day on Wednesday, into October the 1st. And this takes us all the way into Thursday. And once again, you see some curlicuing it around this way and a bunch of them out to sea. We're rooting for out to sea. As far as rainfall projections, tropical system like that can dump, a couple of feet of rain under the right conditions. This rainfall outlook goes through Monday night, and I just kind of stopped it here because after that, it's just so uncertain who's going to end up getting the rainfall. Will it come inland? Will it come into the mountains? Will almost all of it stay offshore? We don't know. That's Humberto out there. That's the rainfall from Humberto. And then you can see the impacts of the dry air that we in Houston have right now. We're enjoying beautiful, quiet weather for the moment. Okay, Saturday in Houston, 65 in the morning, lovely morning. We go to 90, have coffee outside, enjoy the beautiful early fall weather by Houston standards. It stays gorgeous through Sunday, and then you see lows in the 60s, highs near 90 as we go through the middle of the week, while we continue to monitor very carefully what's going on for our neighbors and friends on the East Coast. Our next live broadcast on KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then.